Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I took a 10-month break, but I'm finally back to bring you some fun and fresh content. So the genre of today's video is tutorials that you don't actually follow, so there really won't be instructions in this video on how to make army-based stew. And I didn't actually plan to show this video, but I lost the footage of the videos that I actually had planned, so we're just gonna make do with what I have. I'm also going to try a voiceover style video because I don't really like looking at my face, so I hope my voice won't be as terrible as to listen to and edit, because editing my video is pretty painful when you hate yourself. But, you know, make it happen. And what you can see here is that I'm just setting up the base for the army base stew, and onions are a nice flavor. And I use carrots because they're sweet, and that means I can use less sugar in the finished product later. Don't throw out the nibs of the carrot that you don't grate when you cook. Just feed them to your local garbage dispenser. For example, I fed them to my dad. Great recycling. 10 out of 10. Be eco-friendly. Before we get any further into this video, I would like to thank my sponsor, Raid Shadow. Just kidding. Could you imagine? No, I'd like to thank Rachel, my sleep paralysis demon. Thank you for waking me up at 4 a.m. every day. Fuck you. Please stop. Army-based stew is not the most technically difficult dish. As you can see, a lot of it's assembly. But I think there's a lot of other efforts that go into it. Like, you have to make sure that the ingredients mesh well together. And you have to know the preferences of the people who are eating. Army-based stew comes from the time where Korea was really poor, and the citizens went to the US Army bases to get some food to eat. And the processed foods like ham and spam that they got was used to make basically a kimchi stew, but fancier. So you can put anything you want in here. Like, you can put baked beans in it, although I think that's really gross and you shouldn't. But feel free to put anything else in, like pork belly, or I don't know, what food do you like? I personally think that there's no right way to cook anything, and it's a lot to do with personal preferences. I think that people who are really critical on foods for not being authentic is a load of bullshit, because I think that the more people that enjoy food, the better, and I don't think you should be gatekeeping what food is good and what isn't. And I'm having a lot of fun learning how to edit these videos and filming them, but there are some hard parts. Like, there's a lot of awkward pauses and blank spaces I have to cut out because I don't think anyone wants to watch that. You guys are actually watching a re-upload, because the first time I uploaded this, I did the voiceover wrong and you could hear an echo. And I had to ask for some feedback for my #1 fan, Shruti. Shout out to you. Thanks for your help. But this is a learning process, and I'm doing YouTube as a hobby because in the quarantine times, I had a really hard time being by myself. It's not that I'm lonely per se, it's that I felt like I wasn't doing anything with friends, and having some sort of something for myself and a schedule to adhere to was really nice for me. And I get to share something that I am really passionate about, which is eating food. As people in my household can tell, because I've been eating like I go to the gym, but I don't go to the gym, so my body is kind of going out of shape. Could you believe that I went to the gym before this? The one time I was healthy, the coronavirus is like, nah, be fat, and my body's like, okay. But I am doing the best with what I have, and I think that's pretty important. Oh, okay. After you're done assembling, you want to make the stock. This is anchovy stock. You'll just have to trust me because I didn't film it. Or it could be Belle Delphine's bathwater. You don't know. But first, in the seasonings, you want to mix them in a separate bowl, because you want to mix them all into a paste-like consistency and then add it into the rest of the stock, because otherwise you can end up with lumps that are really hard to get out. And lumps are fine if you're making pancakes. But these aren't pancakes, so mix them in another fucking bowl. Another really important step, like you just saw, was to unhygienically use your fingers to wipe off spoons because you're lazy, and add in 4 to 5 times the amount of garlic any website will tell you how to do, because I don't think you should trust people that put the recommended amount of garlic in for a recipe, because what are you? And then you just mix and stuff. Wow, so informative. Are you guys learning a lot? I hope you are. This is the content that you came here for. That's more reflection on you than it is for me, isn't it? Anyway, you can see that the pot in the previous shot is missing a handle. And I tried to get that out of the frame for the previous shot, but then I realized that I couldn't do that for this shot, so we're just gonna have to live with that. This pot has sentimental value, so that's why I'm using it, even though I do have pots that are normal. And it works just fine. And I don't want to throw it out, because if I throw it out, I'd have to go buy another one. Anyway, look, this is the final assembled product. Ooh. Ah. And I'm actually going to heat it up on the stovetop here. Normally you would take this and eat it over a gas grill on the table, like KBBQ kind of. My parents are annoying and I don't want to film them. So we're just going to heat it up on the stovetop and pretend like it's normal. And you can see that it gets a little uglier now that you add the broth, because everything is tinged red in like an uneven way, but what can you do? And you'll also, a pro tip is that when you make dishes like this, you should never fill it all the way up to the top, because once it boils, the water level rises significantly and you'll have overflow, and that is not fun and fresh. And here in the reflective of the pan screen, you can see why I do voiceovers now, because I look insanely busted due to quarantine. Thank you for that, COVID. But, I mean, I'm doing the best that I have, so hope you liked it. I would like to shout out to the 2 viewers who watched my videos last month, and to that 1 person that unsubscribed. Why? That's so mean. What the fuck? But it tasted good. Trust me. Subscribe!